Good morning everyone and welcome back to a weekly reading vlog. Today is October 1st. It's just shy of 9 a.m. and I'm about to do my makeup, so I thought that I would talk to you while I was doing that and kill two birds with one stone. Guess if it's a reading vlog I should start off with what I'm reading. I just started last night Straw into Gold by Hilary McKay, and this is a bunch of fairy tale retellings, and I just finished the first one last night and it was about Rapunzel, and the next one is Rumpelstiltskin, which is really interesting because I really like that fairy tale, but it's not really one that you hear mentioned often. So plans for today. There may not be a lot of reading done because I was just out moving my car and it's like the perfect autumn morning. And I feel like we haven't really got autumn yet. September was pretty good when it came to weather, a couple of wet days, but overall temperature and stuff was pretty nice. So I'm glad that autumn's here. I think it's probably my favourite season. It maybe just beats out spring. So I think I'm going to get ready here and go for an early morning walk. And there's a local radio show that I listen to every morning if I can. It's like a political current affairs discussion kind of local show. And it's on at 9 o'clock. So I think I will probably just do my makeup very quickly, as I always do. And go and maybe take a walk. I listened to my radio show this morning because I would just be listening to it and scrolling through Twitter if I listened to it here. And then we can come home and get something to eat. And the Animal Crossing update is out today. Well, it was out yesterday. It's kind of annoying me a wee bit. I don't really mind time traveling in Animal Crossing because if that's how you want to play the game, you know, it doesn't really affect me that much. But so the update came out yesterday, like the software like to download came out yesterday, but like the autumn event isn't meant to start till today, but then people downloaded it yesterday and then time traveled today using their console like date. So they were doing it yesterday and Twitter was just full of pictures of like all the new things you can make and stuff, which then kind of ruins it for the people that don't want to time travel. So yeah, like I don't mind, like if you want to go to a different day to get better turnip prices, or you're trying to move somebody's house and it takes a day and you don't want to wait till tomorrow because you'll not be able to pay tomorrow and you want to do it today. But like to skip to an event that hasn't actually happened yet and start like posting all the pictures and like different stuff, I thought that was a bit mean for those of us that wanted to actually, you know, wait and experience it, which I did, and I just happened to turn on Twitter yesterday and got bombarded with pictures like look at all the cute stuff you can make, look at what I made. I'm like, yeah, well, I wanted to wait and see what stuff I could make myself, but that's not a big deal. So it'll probably be a good wee bit of Animal Crossing today because I want to check out all the new stuff, and I've done my walk, so that'll be that already done. And then I do want to do reading. I've watched quite a lot of YouTube over the past couple of days, so I would like to take that back and read a bit more today. And I'm hoping that doing the vlog will motivate me to do so. Oh, also today, we heard last night that we're getting tighter restrictions today, but no one knows what they are. So we'll have our like executive broadcast they're always at different times. Sometimes they're at like 4:30 and sometimes they're at 5, sometimes they're at 5:30, sometimes they're at 7. But 4:30 seems to be the most recent kind of consistent time. So I'll be trying to watch that live, which they make quite awkward to watch live, but I'll be trying to watch that live and see what our tighter restrictions are, because they basically said yesterday we're definitely getting them. They're just debating exactly what. And with me living in the capital, we're not the worst in the country, but we're like the second worst area in the country. So I think we probably, even if they do like just localized restrictions for us in Londonderry, which is the other city in Newcastle, I was going to say, in Northern Ireland, that is quite bad at the minute. We have like I think we have close to 200 cases per 100,000 population, which is crazy. Londonderry, the other city, has like over 300 cases per 100,000 inhabitants. Although we're going by like district area, so it's not just the city itself, it's the city's district area, but still. Look at this, the concentration. You can't probably even see me, or you can just. I should sit up a little bit. There you go. You can see me slowly just slipping down on the carpet. Does anyone else open up their mouth to do their mascara? My foundation looks like really dark on this compared to my neck, but I swear it's not in person, it's whatever way the light in the camera's hitting me. Okay. That's us. Makeup done for the day, so I think I'll just get my headphones. I actually bought this recently, and I think I might use this. It is a stretchy, like I guess a sweatband, like a headband, but it's Bluetooth, and there's little like speakers in the ears, and I use it for I like to listen to audiobooks when I fall asleep, and my husband doesn't, so I connect this to my phone, put my audiobook on, and then when you kind of like lie down, you can't really feel it. So it's quite cold, so I might wear a woolly hat, so I might put this on and then a woolly hat on top, and then you wouldn't even see this. So we might do that, and we'll go for our walk, and I'll check in with you guys later and tell you how my reading's going. Hi guys, and I'm back, and I haven't done any reading. It must be near 6 o'clock. I'm just about to go and get dinner ready. But after I went on my walk, which I showed you some clips of, I came back, done some chores around the house, and went on to Animal Crossing and got all my pumpkins and stuff sorted because it's now October. And then my mum rang and asked me if I wanted to go get lunch, because our current restrictions are that you're not allowed into someone's house, but like cafes and stuff are still open, so I can't go and visit her, and she can't come here and like come in and have a cup of tea, but we can meet up and go get food. So we went and done that, and also she let me know that Marks and Spencer's was having a big massive close sale, and that she went down yesterday and got some really nice stuff. It's obviously more summery stuff because it's in the sale now, but for like no money. So of course I had to go and like find some bargains, and I got a hat, and I love it, peach bucket hat. But I got loads of stuff. I got like 10 pairs of trousers. It was ridiculous. Everything was 90% off. So I was getting like blouses that were like £27 down to £2.70. It was crazy. So I bought way too many clothes, and then I came home and I spent ages waiting on, like, this is our executive, like, giving the latest briefing for the changes and restrictions, and they said they would come on at 4:30, but they weren't on till like 5:10. So I was just sitting with a cup of tea waiting for that, and then they're just finishing up now, and I'm going to go make dinner, and then afterwards I should be able to read. The restrictions that are coming in, the new restrictions, aren't affecting my area. That's good. The categories. but it's only affecting the top area and we're the second area. So I think that probably eventually the same restrictions will come here. And part of the restrictions was library closures. I'm devastated. So this is a library book and I have one other library book which is quite short. So I'm really going to focus on trying to get these changed over the weekend because I don't believe they're going to bring in any more restrictions till at least Monday, or at least maybe announce them on Monday, and they'll come into force on Wednesday. That's like the earliest they'll do it. So I really want to get this finished and the other book over the weekend and go to the library on Monday, and then I can take all my library books back and get another stack in case next week they announce our library's closed. Not that I don't have a lot of books here, I obviously do, and I still have my Kindle and I still have my app on my phone, my library app, where I can download ebooks and audiobooks. But the problem is middle grade. Middle grade is like my favorite age genre, but I don't own a lot of those because I find that they're harder to get secondhand, which is where I get most of my books. And also that I can't equate paying the same amount of money, even though I buy my books super cheap, for a kid's book that'll fly through in an afternoon as opposed to maybe like a big chunky adult fantasy that'll take me ages to read, because I always weigh up like the price for the time that it'll like take me. So I don't own a lot of middle grade books, and because my library has such a good selection, I don't buy them because I can just go there. So I think I'm going to have to really focus down on getting this, like as much of this done today and tomorrow as possible, and then over the weekend work on my little short book. I'm quite busy this weekend, so I'm really hoping that it'll all be fine, because on Saturday we're going to the museum, because our museum, I think they're being unveiled on Friday, but we've got tickets for Saturday. They've got 3 Rembrandt like etchings, so I really wanted to go and see them, and it's literally only across the road. And it's still free to go, but you have to book tickets so that they can control like how many people are in at certain times, and they give you a time slot and you have to book tickets. So I got the family tickets for that on Saturday, and then on Sunday we try to spend every other Sunday with my husband's family, because I see my family a lot through the week. Like I'll always just like call in, ring up, go down. Like if I'm free, if we're both free, we'll go down for dinner. So we see my family quite a lot. But we only see his family really on Sundays when we plan to go. So we try to do every other Sunday. So this is one of our Sundays to go down and meet them. So we'll have to do something with them on Sunday. And that is normally because they live further away, and because we'll have to actually do something because houses aren't allowed. That means that we'll probably like go to like a national park for a big walk and take a picnic or something. If the weather's good, fingers crossed. So that means Saturday and Sunday are going to be both pretty busy. So tonight I would love to get as much of this done as possible, and I'll let you know what happens. Hello everybody, it is Friday the 2nd. And I just wanted to give you a little reading update. It's just after lunchtime. I did the same walk today as I done yesterday morning. My friend, my best friend, wanted to come today, and he brought his dog and we went on the same walk. Because again, not allowed people in your house here at the minute. But I wanted to give you a reading update on Straw into Gold by Hilary McKay, which is the fairy tale retellings. I read 8 out of the 10, so I have another 2 to go, and some of them are very basically just obviously reworded versions of the original fairy tales, and some are quite different. And I think my favourite so far has either been the Red Riding Hood or the Snow White one, and I've actually 3 more to go. I read 7 of them, and I have the 12 Dancing Princesses, Hansel and Gretel, and the Swan Brothers to go. So I'm gonna try and sit down here now. I've got some ambience on, and I've got a cup of tea and some midget gems, and I'm just ready to try and sit down and get through this book today so that I can get started on my final library book for the weekend. As you can see, I just made some peach green tea. Oh, that's so good. So I started really enjoying the peach green tea lemonade out of Starbucks, and then it, like, you can't get it, well, at least here you can't get it all year round, and also during the summer, like, and early spring when the weather was good, the Starbucks was closed. So I looked into making my own. So I just make like a simple syrup, cut up the peaches, put it in and let them stew and go real soft and mushy, and then I blend it to make the peach puree, and then fill a glass with ice, put a drizzle of the peach puree on it, and then half fill it with green tea, and then top it up with lemonade, or I guess you could put whatever. You don't have to put the lemonade in. I alter, it's not an exact measurement, I alter it every time depending on what I'm feeling. Sometimes I put more lemonade with more of a dash of green tea, and sometimes I put more green tea with more of a dash of lemonade. But it's super good, and it really is easy apart from the puree, which isn't hard. It's just time consuming to cut them all up and then boil them in sugar water to make the puree. And so you need peach, sugar, the green tea, and the lemonade, and it is delicious. But while that was all stewing, I did finish Straw Indigold by Hilary McKay. This was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was just a real good time. I haven't rated it yet because I've literally just sat down, poured this drink, and finished it off. But it was really good. I enjoyed it. There was more that I liked than others. So I said that I liked the Snow White one and the Red Riding Hood. I also like the Swan Brothers a lot. The Hansel and Gretel and the 12 Dancing Princesses and the Pied Piper of Hamelin were all a bit just bland for me, and then the others were fine but nothing special. But overall, a good wee collection of short stories. And I would say if you had a kid that you wanted to get into fairy tales but maybe didn't like some of the like more like gruesome messages and stuff in them, that this would be like a good place that you could take and like read them to kids, because they're very kid friendly. So on to the next book. I have to go get it. It's over on my book cart. Is the last one from the library is The Maker of Monsters, which this was probably out of all the library books the one that I was most excited for, if you watch my Back to Library vlog. So I'm hoping that this one lives up to its standards. It's about a boy who lives on an isolated island in a castle, and he seems to be the helper to this mad scientist who is making monsters, and then one of the monsters gets out and the little boy has to go and try to like bring it back before it wreaks havoc on the local community or whatever. So I'm going to take a bit of a break now. It's almost dinner time. We're having burgers tonight. So I'm going to enjoy my peach tea. I'm going to watch some YouTube. I have really got into JCS Criminal Psychology recently. I've been watching a lot of that YouTube channel, and it shows a lot of like police interrogations and goes through the psychology of them, and it's super interesting. So if you like true crime, just hearing like the cases isn't always the most interesting, but I find this super interesting. So it's all the interrogation photos and or videos and like how they confess and stuff, which is interesting. So I think I'll sit down and enjoy this drink, watch that, and then I will start on the burgers for tonight. I always make my own burgers, just preference. I like to put spices and stuff in them, and it's a lot easier. So I am going to then get started on burgers, and then after dinner, it's still super nice. So even though I've walked like over 8 miles today, we might go on another walk, and then I'm gonna kick into this, and I'll probably not update you for the rest of the night. I might update you before bed if I do a lot of reading to let you know how it's going, but other than that, I'll probably just read a wee bit this evening, and I'll check in the morning and let you know how much I read and what I'm feeling about it. guys, it's Hannah and it's now actually Monday. I didn't film any updates over the weekend. I did show you some of the little clips of the Rembrandt when we went to the museum, which was super fun, but I didn't show you any reading updates because I didn't really do much. I have gotten about 100 pages into The Maker of Monsters. Do you want to hear all about it? Okay. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's quite fast paced, page turner. The chapters are a good length. There's always something happening. So I think it would be a fun one to read with a kid because they're always going to be looking forward to what's happening next. But yeah, it's fine. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to try and get it done today. I have most of my chores for the day done. And I am going to try and now sit down and try to speed through the rest of this so that I can go to the library today, because it's looking more and more likely that we're going to go into full lockdown at some point this week. But one of my chores for today was dumping out my wardrobe. You can probably see bags behind me of old clothes that are either going to be binned if they're ruined or taken to the charity shop. So I like dumped my whole wardrobe out all over the bed and went through it and like organized it and neatened it up and also got rid of some stuff. But when I was going through my pajama section, there was like a shelf that had fallen and was almost like a false back to the wardrobe, and I thought like that's really far out, and there was shoes behind it, and they were shoes from when I was like a scene kid, when I was a teenager, like an emo. So I'm super excited by these. I found 3 pairs and I am going to try and wash them up and see what happens. So these are the first one, very like cheesy standard. They're all Vans because that's exclusively what I wore in shoes and mostly clothes as well. And they're just black slip-ons with like rainbow peace signs all over them. But like look at how like these haven't seen the sun in 15 years. So the sole is, and I tried them all on and they still fit because my feet haven't grown since I was like 13. So these are going to need like completely re-scrubbed and washed, but I'm going to have a go at those. And then these high tops, which are actually kind of cute. Like I will wear these non-ironically. They're like black suede and then white. And it has like this pattern on it with like good fall colours, like an aubergine kind of colour, and reds and yellows and oranges. And these like 2 girls at this creepy house. And then the inside is like a kind of like stained glass pattern with pink soles. So like I actually think they're kind of funky. I might wear those. And then these are the pierced resistance. I like fell over myself when I found these skate shoes. Big, chunky, like you slip them on. There's no like, they're laces, but they slip on. Can you see? Oh my word, they're so chunky. And like they're all checkerboard. These are hideous, and thankfully because these are black soled and everything, these aren't going to take much wiping up, because again they're like a weird like faux suede kind of material. It might be hard to wash, so but yeah, I'm going to see if I can incorporate these into an outfit, because how funny. But even like to keep as like a piece of my history, you know, black super tight skinny jeans with rips, probably a couple of chains off them, and then like some random like super bright Hello Kitty top with some crazy hair and super eyeliner was looked at companies. I also found these, which are kind of cute, and I forgot I owned these too. And I used to wear these like non-ironically 2 jelly shoes. Bright neon yellow jelly like kids sandals. Obviously there's no washing or anything to do these, but my house in America is cycling distance to like a community outdoor pool, which I always cycle up to, and these might be good to slip on, cycle to the pool. You could walk to it too, but I normally cycle to the pool, because I find it hard to wear flip-flops, because it's hard to cycle in flip-flops, but then I don't really want to wear shoes either, because you end up getting into the shoes dripping wet then. So I actually may use these, but hilarious. This made my day. So I'm gonna go though. I'll leave those to cleaning up to later, but I'm gonna go now and make a cup of tea and try to whiz through this. It was a really fast read, so I think about 2 hours ish. Fingers crossed, might finish this. And it is raining currently, and I can drive to the library, but I prefer to walk. But if it's not too rainy, we'll just put the coat on and go, and if it is rainy, we'll drive, because I wouldn't be surprised if the library's closed tonight and didn't reopen again. So all the chores are done. The dinner's made, like literally everything for the day is done. So we're on to this. It's just about to turn noon. So the library's closed from 1 to 2, I think, for lunch. So maybe by 2 o'clock, we'll be near enough ready to get to the library before 5 for closing. You want to say goodbye, Nippy? Yeah. Bye-bye. Back again. It's about almost 2 o'clock. I did finish the maker of Monsters. I really enjoyed this. There was a cute wee twist at the end, but there was unanswered questions. There was an element of like political fantasy that I thought was really interesting to have in a middle grade book, and definitely the chapter structure was almost as if it had been written like, like published in a magazine, like chapter by chapter. And I can't work my mind around whether I think that's a benefit or not yet, but I did like it. I think it'll probably be a high 3 stars when I actually sit down to write it. But we've just had kind of an emergency, so there's not going to be a trip to the library today or maybe even tomorrow. So I actually might not get to the library before lockdown hits. But basically my car's been in the mechanic all week, and I've had my brother's car. He gave me the loan of it because he doesn't need it. And but now there's issues with my brother's car. So I'm going to have to get that back to him. I'm not going to have a car for a couple of days. I'm actually going to have to stay over, like drive it down to my parents tonight so that like he can have it to get it sorted. And I'll probably have to end up staying there because then I'll not be able to drive myself home. But I'm hoping my car might be ready by tomorrow. So it's just a whole mess. So the next time you see me, I'll actually probably be at my parents' house. I'll not have been able to get to the library. And I'm not even sure what my next read is going to be, because I thought, oh, I'll go to the library and like pick up a book there. And I normally like read my library books. Like if I go to the library, I want to just start one of them right away. So I'm going to like, I don't know, look at the books I own. I started Redwall last month and really enjoyed that, and they're on my Kindle, so I might get the second one of that, or I might go and pick a physical book. I'll probably bring my Kindle and a physical book to my parents tonight and then just decide between the two, and I will let you know. So I'm getting packed now for an overnight bag apparently, and I have to go, so I'll see you when I see you. Good morning. It's a very rainy Tuesday morning. Yesterday didn't actually turn out as disastrous as the emergency phone call once appeared, so I didn't have to stay at my parents or anything. I was just able to go and pick up my car, so I have my car back and everything's good and ready to go, so that is not a problem. They didn't announce restrictions last night. I think they have to phone the Prime Minister for like financial help. They want to see if they can, I guess, bring in some sort of furlough and stuff again. Maybe ask for more policing, that kind of thing. And I think they want to phone the Irish Taoiseach as well and try to like coordinate with him to see what their plans are. So I still think we will get restrictions this week, but thankfully they weren't last night, so I can go to the library today. But it's absolutely horrible out there. It's a real fine rain that like an umbrella wouldn't help, but if you step out in it for 2 seconds, you're absolutely drenched. But I did take I took a book with me yesterday, and while I was waiting on my car, I did start it, and I started Vox. I hauled this recently. It's been a book I've been wanting to read for ages, but couldn't find anywhere secondhand. Found it secondhand somewhere recently and thought, yeah, and I just couldn't wait to read it. So it's basically like a political dystopian where the females are very disadvantaged and they aren't taught to read or write. They can only speak 100 words a day. They can't have passports, all this other kind of stuff. And I'm not very far into it. Nothing has really happened yet apart from, I'm only 27 pages in, explaining the world, and our main character is kind of looking back at when she was younger and when people used to say like, don't let the politician in, they'll silence our voice, there's not enough representatives for, female representatives and all this kind of stuff in politics. And she was kind of like, yeah, sure, 20 to 15, it's 5 drop, they're still 15, but you know how that then affects long term. And it's essentially about a group of people being silenced. Super intriguing and just like gripping so far. Like I really do want to continue reading it, but so this is going to be my next read, so I'll not be able to, because I've just started this, I'll not be able to immediately pick up a library book, which is what I like doing when I come home from the library, but that's the way it's going to have to be. So I'm going to pack up all my library books here and put on a coat and actually get out for a walk to the library. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to get any like video clips to put in for you guys because it's so gross out there. But the next time you see me, I'll be home from the library and I'll be showing you what I get. I'm back from the library and I did get quite a good haul. It is actually brightened up. What a difference to the gloomy morning we had. I'm trying to sit out of the absolute glare of the sun right now because it's quite a lot. I just tried to make something new for lunch. Not sure how it'll turn out. Like little pizza swirls. So I just made a very basic dough and then put tomato puree, cheese and ham in and kind of rolled them up into like little swirls and put them in bun cases to bake. So we'll see how those turn out. Give me a second, she's crying because it's lunchtime and she needs to go outside to do her business. So we will see how those pizza swirls turn out. They took longer than I expected. I really messed up the dough today. I don't know what I done, but I found it hard to get the consistency right, but I got there in the end. That's what you get when you don't follow recipes. So I'm in now and I've got my cup of tea. My mug says your dad sells Avon, which is the funniest mug I've ever come across. Cheers to my mate Ruth for buying me this for Christmas last year. Can't believe we're getting into that time of year again. But let me show you what I got you from the library because that's what we're all here for. Okay, I got 3 adult books and 3 middle grade books, and they're all autumny vibes. Some of them are more Halloweeny, and then other of them just sound like cozy, like autumn reads to me. I don't know how to explain it. The first one I picked up I thought was very apt. It is Hex Life, which is edited by Christopher Golden and Rachel Autumn Deering, and it is a collection of 18 short stories all about witchcraft. And I'm not into like super like dark spooky stuff. I prefer more like cutesy ghosts and pumpkins and cozy fall leaves, and so I hope they're not like super dark witchy tales. I hope they're like fun witchy tales. I'm sure some of them will be more dark, but that's kind of, I don't want to really stray too far into the horror genre. If I can mind, I don't mind a wee bit, but I don't want to not be able to sleep after reading this. So that was my first one. I just saw Hex Life on the spine, thought sounds seasonal, and then when I picked it up and it was short stories, which I haven't read in quite a while, collection of short stories, so I thought we'd go with that. Then continuing with the witchy theme, we have The Witchfinder's Sister by Beth Underdown, and it's set in 1645. When Alice Hopkins' husband dies in a tragic accident, she returns to the small Essex town of Manningtree, where her brother Matthew still lives. But home is no longer a place of safety. Matthew has changed and there are rumours spreading through the town, whispers of witchcraft and of a great book in which he is gathering women's names. So he is the witchfinder, she is his sister, and maybe she's a witch. And she like obviously would then try to hide that from him. So that sounds good too. Then I'm sure a lot of you have read Nevernight by J. Kristoff. It's quite a popular fantasy book that's been doing the rounds for a while. And for some reason it never really, I am a big fantasy reader, but it never really pulled me in. But when I saw it there, I thought, you know what, pick it up, give it a go. Maybe I'll get super into it. And I think it's just all 3 are out now, and I think it's just a trilogy. Correct me if I'm wrong. So all 3 are out now, so then if I get really into it and the library's still open, I can get them off them, or I'm sure I can get like an ebook or something from somewhere if I'm super into it. And it seems like it's about this girl, there's something about death, and she has to prove herself. Vengeance. I don't know. Typical fantasy, I think, assassin-based novel. Then we have our 3 middle grades. 2 are like a duology, but I'm not sure if there's going to be more in the series. And that's Potkin and Snubs, and Popkin and Snubs, the Haunting of Pelican City. So again, kind of Halloweeny, spooky kind of vibes. They're both mysteries. The first one seems to be, well, Potkin is a wannabe reporter who like snoops everywhere. And it says just something about a bus station. An atmospheric page turner with a hauntingly good mystery at heart, says Garth P. Jones. So, and I've read his books before and liked them. So that's the first one. And then the second one, snow is falling, so it's set in the winter, but there's obviously spookiness is creeping out, disappearing. They're literally frightened to death. So these just sound like a super fun Milgrid type, and the covers are super cute and fun. So that's our next 2. And then our final one is I, Coriander, and it was a Nestle Children's Book Prize Gold Award winner in 2005, and this is the 10-year anniversary edition, but I've never heard of this book, but it's obviously been about for quite a while. And the back doesn't give much. It simply says, I was born in the year of our Lord 1643, which is around the same time as this, so we're set in an era. The only child of Thomas and Eleanor Hobby in our great house on the River Thames in London. Of my early years, I remember only happiness. That was before I knew the world had such evil in it, and that my fate was to be locked up in a chest and left to die. This is my story. This is my life. So just a bit of, the plastic covers and library books always give such a glare. But yeah, not much to go off there. So we've got historical. That's just historical, which always gives me autumny vibes. They're both kind of spooky mysteries. Then we have kind of like an assassin fantasy. And then 2 books about witchcraft. So I think that's pretty good haul for the library. There we go. And but before I can get into any of those, I need to take this cup of tea over to the sofa and get stuck into Vox and not get through this, because that sounds like it's a chore. I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to getting more into the story and seeing how it goes. So if I read a lot of this today, I'll check up with you tonight and let you know how far I get on. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow and let you know how it's going. It is Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday evening, and I'm just going to get dinner sorted. And I'm going to do my last check-in for the vlog, because even if I read tonight, it'll not be enough to finish a book or be worth updating you. And I really enjoyed doing this week, so I'm going to start the new vlog tomorrow and just do it on a weekly basis for October and see how it goes. But I did get some done last night and a bit today, more of Vox, and I am about 150 pages in, and I don't know if enjoyment is the right word. It's very unsettling. It's quite hard to read, and I've been finding like reading a couple of chapters and then taking a break and going and doing something is about the most that I can do, because it just hit home so hard. If you are in America, I know your elections are coming up. If you aren't decided on voting or not yet, like, this just shows what one generation of complacency can get a country to. And in my head, as I'm reading it, it's kind of making me think of The Circle by Dave Eggers and 1984. But if those restrictions were monetarization and all that kind of stuff were just put on women and not men. And I'm really enjoying it, but it is hard to read. I'm not enjoying it because it's fun or engaging. It's definitely hard hitting. It's definitely realistic, but in an unbelievable way, just because you never want to think this of humanity. And it does hark back to how slowly the Nazi party were able to rise and win over the people and make them think that wrong was right and right was wrong. So it's a crazy ride, and I would push anybody, male, female, no matter where you live, no matter what your political views are, to read this, because it just really shows you the importance of being active in politics, no matter what age, gender, race, nationality, anything you are. As I said, complacency is not something that you want to be in politics, and no country can have a true democracy unless the population are knowledgeable about politics and do something with that knowledge. So yeah, this is hard hitting. As soon as I finish this, I'm just going to hand it to my husband and be like, just drop the book you're reading and like start this right away. It's really worth it. So this will probably end up being a 5 stars, but it is not an easy read by any stretch of the imagination. So I will be continuing this in next week's vlog. If you made it this far, thank you so much for joining. And if you get this far, please drop a comment. Even just say, like the video, whatever book sounds interesting. It really helps the video out. And I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all healthy. I hope you're all staying safe. And hopefully I'll see you next week for another reading vlog. Goodbye.